Hey guys, welcome back to Primetime Studios. Like always, I'm Primetime Phil, and today we're going to discuss a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys versus the Minnesota Vikings, a little bit of recap about the Sunday night game that we had with our backups really stepping up, and that's been a theme this year with the backups stepping up and our main backup being Cooper Rush. With Dak not being able to play, I really honestly thought this. All signs point to a green light that says Dak Prescott should play this Sunday. Now, this has been the year of the backups, so seeing Cooper Rush come into this game would be amazing to watch, but I don't think it's a great game to judge him off of because Minnesota does have a very formidable defense and they're led by Kendricks, their linebacker. When you look back at it now, honestly, it was a great game to judge Cooper Rush off of because it was a very formidable defense. A defensive type that you may actually play against in the playoffs, and when you need your backup to play, quarterback is no exception. That's not something that you just got to kind of mark out of the books because you're going to have your starter. You need backups too. And honestly, Dallas, when they won their Super Bowl, they had to rely on a backup that came off the street. So the fact is that you got somebody here that can at least manage the game. And yes, he did have turnovers, but you saw the offense still moving. He was throwing to these receivers. They had some really good stats by the end of it. So he gave you hope to at least keep the channel tuned in, showing that maybe you had a chance to, as long as the defense kept it in, and that's exactly what they did. So amazing time by Cooper Rush, and honestly the next stat was just how involved were the wide receivers going to be. Secondary, they got Patrick Peterson is like our Diggs, where he kind of eliminates, doesn't get all the interceptions, but he still can match man on man to somebody. So their defense across the board definitely matches up, and it's going to be a very well balanced thing. Now, going into the game, you really didn't know where the wide receivers were mentally, especially with the whole Dak Prescott decision not being until game time. But Cooper Rush was in the first team scrimmages, so that kind of helped them with the timing and everything as well too. So I think the wide receivers really stepped up and had an amazing game. As you look at the stats, again, they were amazing across the board, and there were guys picking up the pace where guys like Gallup would be. Cedric Wilson had an amazing time too, and of course Gallup just leading the way with some amazing catches. I think it was a great job by the wide receivers to really step up and kind of help that quarterback really have targets to throw to, and didn't really skip a beat when it came to the offense. The big surprise for me, honestly, in the game ball goes to the Dallas Cowboys defense because they really kept Dallas in the game the whole time, gave you that hope, and didn't make you change that channel because, honestly, it felt like Cooper Rush had a chance to come back with the way that he was moving this offense. The defense was going man-to-man. This secondary was really smacking these receivers in the mouth, so they were getting very physical. And don't get me wrong, the receivers definitely had a good game, like I had said, but when it comes down to it, this defense really did its thing. It clamped down when it needed to. It gave Kirk Cousins all that pressure that we were talking about earlier. Pressure on a quarterback, his numbers dropped dramatically because, of course, you're not giving him time to actually read the field. Kirk Cousins is definitely amplified in this stat because he drops to the very bottom of the league when pressure is put upon him, or if there's even a blitz involved in general. And the defense honestly came to play because that game score stayed low because of the pressure they got on Kirk Cousins. When they got the pressure on him, even when the wide open guy was there, he was overthrowing the receiver, and so you could tell that he just did not want anything to do with that pressure. And honestly, Renard Gregory, he doesn't get enough credit, and he's going to get a big contract, and I hope it's Dallas that really pays him because this guy will be amazing on the opposite side of DeMarcus Lawrence when he finally comes back. And that's something to very look forward to because we're doing this without big pieces of that puzzle still. And so when some of those pieces of that puzzle comes back, it's something to really look forward to. So overall, it was an amazing job of the defense. So overall, an amazing statement game to the NFL. Even in the middle of the game when Tyron Smith went out and Ty Nsekhe came in, that was questionable in general because you had Linnell Collins sitting in there. But the fact that you did it with Cooper Rush and you did it with a Ty Nsekhe and a steal on the outside says a lot about this team because, again, this is the year of the backups because they have been stepping up and showing what type of depth this has. You have some people coming in and out. Some bad news in the sense of Jabril Cox going out for the season with the torn ACL. That was our rookie, and we really wanted to see what that guy had to do. But overall, I think this team has really been stepping up in the places of those So I'm really interested to see who Dallas gets to kind of fill in that role, or who we're forgetting back there in the practice squad in general. So again, thank you for subscribing. Make sure you guys hit that like button for me. I'm Primetime Phil, and don't forget to always make sure you ring that bell.